As a part of our entrepreneurship consulting, especially from small and medium sized businesses in the emerging markets, we are often asked a comparative opinion about Europe, US, and Silicon Valley from entrepreneurship point of view. To begin with, if we look at Europe, then Europeans by nature are very strong, very good in the social balance of life. They are very strong as compared to the entire American setup in aspects of life like art, culture, history, food and beverages, food and wine especially. So if you are interested in starting a business that is connected with these areas of life, then Europe is an excellent place. You will thoroughly enjoy the rich fabric of life that will enhance and enrich your entire business experience. Also, it is important that if you are interested in starting a business that caters to local, national, or even regional European needs, then Europe should be your focus area for starting your business. And there are several good locations in and in the vicinity of Europe. From our research, we understand that Ireland and Tel Aviv in the vicinity of Europe are excellent locations. In Central Europe, cities in Germany, of course, like Munich, Frankfurt, Düsseldorf, places in Switzerland like Zurich, Basel, and then, of course, locations in Belgium, Luxembourg, Netherlands, and UK. Of course, London is one of the prime locations for entrepreneurship in Europe. But if you are interested in starting a global or an international business, especially in the current trends of entrepreneurship, then Europe is certainly not the place. If we look at US, then an entrepreneur has a particular mindset, has a different personality type, and has some qualities that make him ideal for the entrepreneurship experience, and also expects some qualities from his or her environment that reciprocate these values in an entrepreneur's mindset. In US, you will find that as soon as you experience US, or in US, you will see that all the qualities that a particular entrepreneur expects are available at an optimum balance. The entire US culture and environment is geared towards promoting entrepreneurship, and the entire business climate in US understands exactly the fabric of an entrepreneur's mind, and the setup has been made in such a way that the entrepreneur's mind automatically feels promoted, geared, propelled towards furthering his entrepreneurial drive. All different kinds of expertise and support systems, including legal, business advisory, counselors and support system setups from on behalf of the federal government, the state government. All of these facilities are available at an optimum level and are far beyond comparison with not only Europe but any other business setup environment in the world. In the entire US, there are a few locations like New York on the East Coast, Boston for pharmaceutical and life sciences, New York for the financial, general management industry and general industry setup, Atlanta, Georgia. In Central America, Austin, Texas is a very upcoming location for entrepreneurship. On the West Coast, Seattle and San Diego are excellent locations for entrepreneurship. And finally, if we look at Silicon Valley, then Silicon Valley is a, a different ball game entirely. It is in its own class. It cannot be compared in any way with all the other locations in US, and definitely not with all other locations across the world in terms of entrepreneurship business climate. Of course, there are significant advantages as well as disadvantages to the Silicon Valley environment. There is all the facilities for entrepreneurship are available in multiples. Their entire infrastructure network is available at a level that is in multiples of all other locations in the US. It is at a different class and category by itself. But at the same time, since it attracts so much of attention and so much of entrepreneurial potential from across the world, there is also a big hype that is present in Silicon Valley. It is almost like if you are learning to surf on sea waves, then in the beginning you need to start with smaller waves, whereas Silicon Valley is a big massive wave, and only if you have that amount of that kind of a evolved mindset as an entrepreneur, and also if your business is, though as a startup, but if it is evolved enough, mature enough to tackle that level of entrepreneurial spirit, it is then advisable for you to look at Silicon Valley as a good option. If not, just like a big wave, for a novice surfer, it can crash you. Of course, in addition to being evolved as a individual, as an entrepreneur and as a startup business, also if you have sufficient support system in the Silicon Valley, personally, professionally, and a support system that can guide you, navigate you across the business climate, across the big wave, and can in a way train you and guide you, then Silicon Valley is an excellent location for entrepreneurship, far beyond comparison with anywhere else in the world. And if that becomes a suitable match for your level of evolution as a individual entrepreneur and as a business, and if you have sufficient support systems, then there is no need for you to look at any other location. Silicon Valley is the best location for entrepreneurship in the entire world.